All right.
Hello. Welcome to the Wynonna Earp Recap Podcast. We are talking season 4, episode 3. Look at them beans. This episode was directed by the one and only Melanie Scrofano. Yay!
Yay! Her directorial debut, I believe.
Absolutely. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by my wonderful panel. Amber Plaster is here.
Hello.
Kari Lane is here.
What's up, everybody?
Alexis is here.
What up?
I really hope you are below me.
I
said.
You are. The family's back together. We have all 4 hosts today. Yay! We have a contest giveaway.
Yes.
And we have a surprise for you next week. So get some snacks and settle in. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking this video. It means the world to me. We will have all of the replays of this channel, of this season of Wynonna Earp on this channel. And I will also have a link in the descriptions to our older podcast when we were over at AfterBuzz, so that you guys don't have to look for this anywhere in the future. And let's just get into it.
Yeah. Like Amber said, stay tuned because we are announcing the winner of the giveaway. But before we jump into that, what did you all think of this episode? I see people in the chat are going back and forth on how they feel. I'm going to start with Alexis. How did you feel?
How dare you? I was really happy to finally see everybody back together. But as soon as we obviously had that time jump from the last episode, I was like, I feel like it's going to be awkward for a little bit. But other than that, I was just really intrigued to see how Purgatory has changed clearly from where they left us off. And I was just kind of worried the entire time. So I feel like I didn't get to enjoy because like my anxiety was on high because I was like, don't hurt anybody, So I was like, it was hard for me to like enjoy the episode because I was just like, what's happening? What's changing? I'm not ready.
Awesome. Kari, what did you think?
I thought it was a really cool episode. We're 4 seasons in, so what's a way to change things up? Let's have a time jump. I'm glad it's enough time that things have changed, but not like it's been 5-10 years, like something crazy like that. That would have been like, all right, I'm like lose interest. But I'm interested in a lot of these new kind of monsters and characters that we're seeing. Some I'm a little bit like, okay, where is this gonna go? But overall, I was like, oh, okay. It just makes you more intrigued and pulls you back in.
Yeah, I don't recall who said it on our for the premiere episode. One of you suggested that we're just going to have random monsters showing up. And that's what it feels like is happening, is the garden just released all these random bits and pieces. Amber, what did you think of this episode?
It was a lot for me. I started out being really excited about really kind of just paying attention to Melanie's directing and seeing if I could feel anything different about the episode, or maybe admire something that like I wouldn't have thought to do. So I started out just being in a completely different mindset, being like, ooh, like I wonder what her style is. Like I found like everything to be a little bit more flamboyant in a way, with like the lighting and I felt like the costuming was a lot brighter. Maybe it was just to like kind of celebrate being home, but I was really overwhelmed with so many changes. I had a really hard time keeping track of a lot of people's motivations, much less the timeline. I felt like it was a lot thrown at me, but it just gives me an excuse to watch the episode again. So that's cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like when I know that someone from the cast is directing, I pay much more attention to the direction, whereas usually I'm a let's enjoy it type of viewer, where I'm like, I don't want to think about anything technical. I don't want to look at the actors' choices. I just want to enjoy the story. So I definitely felt that way, that I was paying more attention to the directing. But I also agree there was so much thrown at us this episode. So I watched it twice. And that brings us to, I believe, our first point, which is new Purgatory. Let's talk about everything that we know about new Purgatory. I made like a bullet point. Look at that. Beautiful. Thank you, Amber.
You're welcome, guys. We're using this new option called StreamYard, and it's just, it's baller. If you guys haven't checked it out. We're using the free version too.
So good. So I made like bullet points of everything we know about New Purgatory. People, please jump in and correct me. The chat also, if there's a big bullet point that I'm missing. So here's what we know. We know that there are monsters in the woods. And here's how we know that. Well, one, everyone keeps saying it. But also, we have a new character, Casey, played by the amazing Andrew Fung, who you probably know from Kim's Convenience. That's where I know him from, and I freaking love him. And he lets us know that the townspeople, when they left because they were rounded up by BBD because of the forest fires, is what he said. The demons came because everyone shows up for Bush, which may have, I want to say, was my favorite line of this episode, but there were so many.
There's so many.
So the writing on the show is always incredible. Okay, so it seems that the magistrate, Cleo, decided that this is what's happening now. And we had apparently an election with the sheriff. Is that what we all understood? Election, quote unquote?
Yeah, I feel like that was the word that they used, but I don't think it was actually an election. So, right.
Yeah, Nicole didn't seem too hot on it.
I see what you did there. Get out.
Seriously. We need to start a pun jar.
A pun counter.
So the demons came. It seems that there is an arbitrary border that BBD has quarantined everyone. Humans are allowed to exit. I guess non-criminal humans are allowed to exit.
There you go.
So at some point, Wynonna breaks it down. She says there's a border around a hellmouth, around a demon party, around a jail, which has this crazy sheriff. Yes, everyone agrees?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
sounds about right.
Okay. So far, those are the facts I have about New Purgatory, and that the woods are full of monsters, which we, according to Wynonna, is trying to assume came out of the stairs.
Yes.
Okay.
I go with that. And then we'll get to it, but there's a new bar in town. Well, just outside of town.
Oh, outside of, I guess in town.
Nearby.
It's further out.
It's somewhere else. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
And Shorty's is now like a vegan place. Not vegan.
Place?
Yeah, it felt
it's not
hipster.
vegan.
Oh, well, it seemed like a hipster bar, like a juice bar, kind of. I couldn't really tell. There was a cock holiday.
Which was
which I was like, what the heck? Oh, is that because it's made with eggplant? Like, I'm very confused.
No, it was chicken soup.
Oh, was it chicken soup?
Yeah.
Okay, she threw an eggplant, so I think that's why I was getting them confused. Because they said, what's a cock holiday? It's like, I swear, I think that's just soup. And then she threw a giant eggplant, and I was like, my brain.
It's a lot to be thrown at once.
Yeah, no, for real.
At first, I thought it was like a smoothie place, and I thought they were trying to like make fun of, I don't know, like gentrification or something.
There we go. It's like a hipster gastropub. There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But without booze.
Without booze. Yeah. That makes sense.
Like I love her comment on the water. What's that? Oh my god.
Oh, kombucha.
Yes. Because it's so nasty. I hate kombucha.
I still haven't tried it yet.
It's so good for you. Like, sure, drink it, but like, it's so gross.
It definitely depends on what brand.
Like,
what
flavor. And I like that she didn't even drink it because I've so been there, and I just thought it was so Waverly to be like, micro.
I like that Kari comes in with the like defense of kombucha.
No, I was gonna say I'm with you, Amber, but there are different brands and different flavors where I mean overall it's just very vinegar like pucker, and if you don't like that, you need other stuff to be able to swallow that.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I want to talk a little bit about this magistrate. Her name is Cleo. It seems that there is some history with her and Wynonna. She's not a revenant. It does seem personal, but she says it's hereditary. I believe there was a suggestion in the chat.
Yes, we had a fun curveball theory from the chat from Casket Fan. Says this is a left field theory, but what if Cleo is Dolls' daughter?
I think that is a fascinating idea.
I also can see it too. I can totally see that being a thing.
Has it been established that he has a daughter?
Not that we know of.
Girl, I didn't know Nedley had a daughter. I'm not.
Yeah, for real. Like anything could happen at this point.
Because I feel like Dolls is a little bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you would have a daughter that age.
Well,
I mean,
But
what is age in this show?
No, I agree. I think Dolls might be too young for a daughter that age.
Ooh,
but
what if we got BBD? What if there's like genetic cloning or DNA splicing or something, and like she's not necessarily biologically his child, but they made her? Because they said, I don't know what the exact wording was, but they said something that made it seem like she's not just a regular human either.
Oh, okay. Not to get all prediction-y, but if I remember correctly, Dolls was taken as a kid and experimented on, correct? And that's why he's a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, basically,
she could be a sister, like a foster sister, or like a kidnapped sister, or even a biological sister. And that like she was also raised and experimented on and is part dragon. Or something else. Part cat. Please give me a cat. Just fingers crossed for a cat. But I think it's interesting. The other thing is when she said hereditary, I was like, who is she related to? Who's everyone related to?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That
then
makes
maybe.
sense.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
I love it.
Yeah. Like if that's a way to bring Dolls technically back in a sense, that would be very interesting to bring up. And I think that it just, it makes sense.
I mean, Cleo Dolls does sound good.
Yeah. I'll take it.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about everything going on with Nedley, and of course the Randy Nedley Memorial Chili Cook-Off for Freedom.
Oh, what a mouthful! Not to be punny.
What an event!
I've never wanted a chili cook-off shirt more than that one.
Right? I was like, please cast. If there's any way you can get us 4 shirts, please.
Guys,
I will wear it.
There's a picture of a dick on it.
I know, that's why I want it.
I know, I want it so bad. Okay, so Chrissy tries to hang Wynonna for Nedley's murder. We find out, we'll get to Mercedes' storyline, but we find out that when he was injured, he started to run away from her because he was oozing. We have this chili cook-off for Freedom, and Chrissy's a co-judge. And at that point, I was like, okay, got it. So Wynonna's not winning. What is the point of this whole thing? And then she's given her freedom, but it looks like, at least to us, that she's being forced out of town. Then we find out she's not being forced out of town. She's being fed to the troll, people eater, ogre.
The ultimate sacrifice.
The monster thing.
I think it's interesting. I think when Casey says, I've seen people get their freedom, I was like, oh, that's a clue. That's a clue that they don't. That's a clue that no, like, there's no way they're going to let a criminal go free because they won something.
Yeah, so they were pretty much just giving it to
different kind of freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom from this plane of existence.
Right. Death sentence, also called freedom.
Yeah.
Who else thought maybe that thing was a regular person? Because their shape, I'm like, what if that's just a person in like camo suit that's gone crazy?
Me,
you know,
I thought it was actually. I mean, I didn't think that it was like a parasite, like attached to Nedley. I was just assuming that Nedley was like, I've been in the forest for so long. I and stuck it to myself. Like, I didn't think that he was like actually turned into something. I thought he was just going to take it all off and being like, where the heck have you guys been? I've been waiting for you. Like,
I completely agree. Thought the same thing until Doc shot him and he didn't remove his head and let him know that it was him.
Yeah.
I went, oh, clearly Nedley has turned into something. So I kind of wish the creature was less human-like.
Yeah, because it looks like you're going deep hunting, like camouflage. So, I mean, the only shot maybe that was weird was when you saw the face and you saw eyes and it was growing on the face. But maybe we're supposed to wonder, like, wait a minute, you know, ahead of time.
that also again, not to get into more predictions, but when that happened, I was like, so does that mean that there might be monsters that are in the forest that might not actually be monsters after all? Are they just people?
Ooh,
That's a really good point.
I like that prediction.
Not saying that there isn't, because come on now, guys, this is Purgatory. There's obviously going to be some sort of monsters if we have,
Yeah.
things like that. But that would be interesting if people were going missing, or again, if these prisoners are being thrown into the forest, get attacked by a parasite, and become the monsters that we fear. That would be interesting too. And that's like how they get to people.
Well, technically, the vampires and revenants were all humans first anyway.
True. So like, there's that also. So it's like I don't know if that's like what Emily was going for, like the moral or anything, but like, I just think that it would be interesting if that's what was actually happening, and they were able to do that with Nedley first. So
does that mean kombucha will?
Apparently, that's the cure all, guys.
This season, sponsored by kombucha.
I stand corrected, and I'm joining the Church of Kombucha immediately.
Yeah.
Solves all ailments, clears up everything,
Yeah.
I see clearly now.
But the kombucha is the answer.
How did you all feel about this moment where Wynonna is, first of all, hogtied, and second of all, watching everyone else do what she's been doing this whole time? Like, she's being saved by her team.
She's so proud.
I know. And it was also just like a sweet moment of just like, yeah, this is my family. This is the people that I care about the most. And I'm really glad that we're all back together, kind of thing. Even though watching Officer Hot, Nicole and like with this like ridiculous like toy squirt gun and the big spoon, it was just like, I love this show, but also like, what shenanigans we get to, guys. Like, my goodness. Like, it was just a moment of just like that moment of clarity where you're just like, wow, I do watch the show and I love it every freaking minute. It just, if someone walked in and was just like, what the hell are you watching? You're just like, it's great. You should sit down and watch it with me. Like, it was just that moment for me watching that scene. And I was hoping that Wynonna was technically going through the same thing in that sense.
Yeah, I feel like they should release just that scene of them fighting Monster Nedley and be like, if you haven't started the show, maybe
you should.
Yeah.
We got to watch
That seemed like one of those like, yeah, I was like, oh, what a group of weirdos, but they're my weirdos.
Yeah,
and she's so happy because it's absurd, but that's what's amazing about it, that they're working together. Though I don't know, Doc needed to work a little bit more on those lasso, like roping it, just a little bit.
He hasn't had to lasso anyone.
It's been a while, yeah. He's a lot of practice.
Yeah, he usually just shoots and runs, so I can't blame him.
But it was funny.
Speaking of Doc, let's head over to the glory hole.
Oh,
hey.
as soon as he walked in, and then he like not paused because he said it with like his whole chest, like the glory hole. That is quite the name. And I was like, I want this to be an actual watering hole bar. Like, someone please. I mean, it would never pass, but that would be awesome.
No, it is somewhere. Somebody somewhere did that.
I have to find it.
Well, doesn't he also have the great line of like, y'all are on a vacation, but it's time for a holiday or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, hold on, let me barf into my bad joke like bucket. Like, it was just, I couldn't do it. I was just like, oh, the cheese. There's so much cheese right now.
You think that's the cheese? Can we talk about, first of all, Mercedes now going by Portia? And second,
I love a reinvention. I love a frenemy, and I love a villain. And I know that she was first introduced to us as a villain, but I'm here for all of this. And when she said Portia Control is her stage name, get out of here! Like Portia Control.
Y'all see that she entered through a butthole. Yes,
guys. That is my favorite moment. I know we haven't gotten to that part of our show yet, but I just wanted to point it out because I'll forget about it later because we have so much to talk about. That was my favorite moment. That curtain.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure this is 100% a guess. I have no information whatsoever. the way that the curtain was drawn and then the spotlight made it a butt. I think that is how they got it past censors.
Oh, for sure.
Because
for sure.
without the light, it was just a curtain.
It was just a like a not beige, but you know what I mean. Like
and
it's like
and it had like some drawing on it, but as soon as you put the light around it, you have a butt.
Yeah.
She entered through a butthole.
I mean, I wasn't sure if it was a butt or if it was actually like legs. You know what I mean? Like she was coming out of another hole.
I'll
but
have
either
to
way,
rewatch because I could have sworn that was a.
Either way, I was like, this is beautiful. You were coming out of somebody's area, and I'm for it. I stan this queen.
The variety, the creativity. You gotta love it.
It's beautiful. And we can't forget, the bisexual lighting as soon as we walked in as well.
What do you mean bisexual lighting?
Oh, let Yael explain it. Go ahead.
So in cinema, there is a wonderful lighting trope that you may notice when the colors of the bisexual flag, which is pink and blue and purple, in a scene where a character is of bisexual persuasion, I don't know why I'm talking like this, the lighting will be that. And when you walk into the glory hole, literally the colors are pink and blue and purple. And so it was very clear from that moment that there was going to be a whole lot of flirting with a whole lot of genders.
And then it happened for sure.
It was beautiful.
I like that. It's like a beautiful hint of what's about to happen.
Yeah, if you Google bisexual lighting, you will see screenshots from movies where the lighting is like that, and then you'll go, "Oh wait, that character's bi. Oh wait, that character's bi."
Oh, that's so cool.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Oh, I assumed that character was bi. I guess the lighting is confirming.
Yes. In like a subtle, don't scare your grandparents kind of way.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how they get it on national broadcast,
Right. Not that this show has to pretend.
That's why that 10 p.m. slot is good.
It's a good place to be.
So let's talk about this owner. I didn't catch his name. I watched it 3 times. I rewound.
Yeah,
anyone catch his name?
I don't think he quite introduced himself that way.
He does when he first introduces himself. He says something.
Help us
he
out.
says words that I didn't hear as a name.
Nope, it completely escaped me now that you're bringing it up. Mostly because I was just staring at the outfit.
Right. Okay. I thought I was going nuts.
No.
So if the chat can figure out that name, that'd be great. I couldn't find it on IMDb because it wasn't up yet. But in the end, all the flirtation leads us to Doc being the new booze supplier, especially because he's the one who knows where the truck is. And he offers his protection for the bar.
It's highway robbery.
Yeah, here's the thing. He says it's highway robbery. Doc agrees and then goes at an affordable or at a reasonable price. And I went, that's not what highway robbery is. It either is or it isn't.
I think they just try to fit as many old-timey Western puns as they possibly
Yes,
can into
they
every
did.
episode. And if they don't up themselves from the last episode, I just feel like an intern loses its wings, I think they have some kind of running joke because I'm always just appalled at how many puns are even more in each episode. I'm just like, how?
The series finale is all pun.
So every line's gonna be a pun.
I love you. I love every single one of you, and everybody knows how much I love this show. If the finale is literally every line is a pun, I will not watch it, and someone will have to tell me because I will literally throw myself out of the window. Oh my god! No,
I feel that.
I'm really excited about this glory hole, and I cannot wait to spend more time in it. You heard me.
I really enjoyed the chemistry between Doc and the owner and how close they were standing. I was like, oh, okay. I just think he's really interesting and mysterious. And I hope we actually get some more and he's not just somebody stuck at that location.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just really love them meeting each other and
from the chat.
checking
Thank you,
each other
chat.
out.
Emran, sorry if I said that wrong. Emran84 says IMDb still just says glory hole owner.
Fine.
We'll get it eventually. I mean, again, I have to rewatch it too, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm hoping that he's not going to be just a one-off character, or he's just going to be, like I said, like we already know technically who our big bad is, maybe, possibly. But like, I'm hoping that that's not going to be like a turn of like, oh no, it's actually the owner. You know?
I hope not. Yeah. I feel it'd be more interesting if like somebody they talk to more or go there more.
Yeah, like an in-between ally, if that makes sense, where they kind of play the game where they're like, whoever has the highest or whoever needs me the most, I guess I'll help them out. So it could be helping out Black Badge, helping out. I can see Yael wanting to squeeze so hard right now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I could just.
Sorry.
I tried so hard, Yael. I was trying to just keep the conversation going, but I know,
I'm so sorry, everybody.
In your face, so you're like, not squeeze. But yeah, I'm hoping that he kind of like plays for both teams.
Plays for both sides, yeah.
You know, since the bisexual lighting was very up
his
and
bar.
running. Yeah. You know, that he's like, hey, I play for Black Badge and I also play for you guys. Whatever you want, I'm here for you, kind of thing.
All pleasure is good pleasure. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You get it, Kari.
The glory hole.
Yeah, no, for real. Can't go wrong.
All right, let's take it to the homestead and talk about what's going on with Nicole and with Way Hot and with Rachel being there. Thank you, Amber, for the. Perfect.
You're welcome. We don't have sound effects here yet, but we
have
banners for
free, and Amber is rocking it. Yeah, now I stand a banner queen. Hello.
Yes.
Let's talk about Nicole's guilt for a bit. She feels like she let everyone down. Rachel points out that she's all alone and she understands what that's like. How are we feeling about this? Because as we know, I'm not an emotional carer.
You know me. I am also a very emotional person. I definitely think that we're dealing with a Nicole that has PTSD in some way, shape, and form. I feel like the chat probably also feels the same way. That she's clear. One, obviously, you can tell because of the fact that she literally flinches at every noise that you hear.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We never blame fur babies in this show. That is not how this works. But I definitely think that she hasn't had time to relax because she was searching for her future wife,
yes,
future sister-in-law, and a random outlaw, who are part of her family. She also had to technically take a semi-parental role with taking over an orphan, Rachel, as well. So this is now another person that she cares about, and she just lost a bunch of people that she cares about. We also didn't know where Jeremy went at this time, too. So I think that she was just being pulled. If it's better in your sense, not to put you out, Yael, but like a different sense of grief, if that makes sense. If that can help you relate, of like she went through the stages of grief that she doesn't know how to deal with it. So she put all of her time and effort into setting these traps, which were things that she needed to pay attention to, raising Rachel for a year and a half. And then she lost her job. So she's literally just deep in the depression hole instead of the glory hole, and trying to figure out what to do, but she also didn't know how to get everybody back. So I think she was just in that weird phase of like trying to adapt to everyday life while also trying not to forget her past at the same time. And she doesn't know, now that her past is back, she doesn't know how to balance both at the same time, if that makes sense. So she feels like she is a different person, so she can't change that, but then she also doesn't feel like she can jump back into her norms. I don't know if that was a lot of jargon. I don't know if that made any sense.
That made a lot of sense.
No, it's a great explanation.
I liked the depression hole because that's what depression feels like. It's like being at the bottom of a well.
Yeah.
And I really like that scene at the beginning where she's kind of going through her closet and she's like, I divided them by texture.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like she cares so much. And her love is so pure, but you can also tell she's so hyper focused and miserable that she's just like sorting clothing
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
like, okay.
I hope we get more on what happened, because I know Waverly's trying, and Waverly's being a good partner coming into this of like trying to be supportive but not pushing too hard. Because yeah, as you're saying, Alexis, definitely something. I would go with it's like a PTSD. Something has definitely been going on, or just the constant being in a state of fear for her, and knowing that the love of her life might be dead for so long. You know, maybe she was like, I don't want to think about her dead. Maybe she is. I don't know. And I think it's unfortunate that it'll probably take her time to get back to being more, I don't want to say normal, but like more regular for her. Yeah. And I want the two of them to be okay. And you're like, come on. I want our couple happy again.
Yeah, and I feel like it might not be back to the same old bright Nicole, but I think that we'll get a more seasoned Nicole that will eventually learn that even though she might have gone through a time that it might not be the same one, but I feel like it'll be enough for her to just kind of like, I don't know the word for it.
I hope she can just
go ahead.
Like relax. Like she's just in this, like everything's coiled so tight, and it's just like you need to breathe, and it's okay. You have other people here to help you. You know, you're not by yourself trying to protect the homestead anymore. Well, Rachel's there though.
Yeah, but I also think that I would assume also because she did break her leg in 3 different places, that also probably took a toll on her because she actually couldn't do anything. If that makes sense. So like Rachel literally had to take care of her, and then she had to learn how to walk and do all these things again. And all of us
injuries also messed you up bad, especially one where you can't walk.
Yep. I was like, Yael, like
I do.
Trying to find that not normal, but that back to your old regiment or your old schedule of like doing stuff, even just like walking from one room to another or sitting or eating or whatever is completely different now. And even though now when she ran out of the homestead and she had her gun out, she looked like everything was fine. But even then, you know that even when you break something or hurt something, you don't really walk the same. You don't really move the same. Your body feels different. So, she's just going to be a different Nicole. But I'm hoping that, yes, like what you said, that she'll be able to adapt certain things back from the past. But I don't think we're going to get like the same Nicole that we got in the last season.
I think what was I think the most heartbreaking thing she said this whole episode was, I know I let everyone down. Yeah. And the fact that we didn't have the time because we were in the middle of a chili cook-off for freedom was that we didn't have the time to like pause and be like, no, you did not.
I also like that Wynonna said that too, that she's like, whoa, hey, I never said anything. And you know that like, that's a lot to pull out of Wynonna, but like, you know that she clearly supports Nicole in every way, shape, and form. So
and Nicole did. I mean, what else was she? She did what she could do.
Yeah, it's not like she abandoned everybody. She got pushed out of her position.
Yeah, but that's also not how depression works. She's probably been dealing with that the entire time, just blaming herself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And to be fair, based on the injury itself and the time that we are at, she is medicated if she's moving the way she's moving.
For sure.
The idea that she's running down those stairs on the ice to fight Nedley, girl, you are as someone who is currently medicated just to sit through this after show. She's medicated.
Yeah, and I think that's also going to play a role. I think that's also why she's as paranoid as she is. It might be a side effect from the medication that she's taking, or again, just the fact that, things are going on outside. And I'm hoping that's also, I mean, that sounds awful to be like, I hope she's medicated. Like, I hope that we get to see a strong character go through a tough time with something that's very normal, which is medication and things like that, or depression, mental
recovery.
And learning that you're going to have a supportive partner who might not know what to do, but will still be there for you, everyone around her, stuff like that. Again, I still think that it's going to be tough for her to get through this, but I think this is the arc that we kind of needed. That's not supernatural, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now Waverly gets to be the strong one and help Nicole, because Nicole has kind of been the rock for Waverly for so long too.
For sure.
All great points. So good. Let's continue discussing our team and bring it back to Jeremy. So what we see, here's what we know. We know that he's fine. We know that Robin is somewhere, maybe.
Question mark.
Yeah, I was like, where's her boy?
I also like the way that it's glossed over. Like Robin exists, maybe. Chrissy
I don't love that. I would like to know.
Yeah, I agree. And I assume we will, because
once we actually talk with Jeremy, I think we'll get that information.
Yeah, I really hope so. So Chrissy's exiting at the border, and it seems that Jeremy is the supervisor, and she whispers to him, "They're back." And then we get to see Wynonna taken from the bar. So that's what we know about Jeremy and Black Badge.
True.
Nicely done.
And it makes sense in a way for him to go to Black Badge if it's like a chaotic world and it's somewhere he worked, and in a way maybe he's playing double agent and he's getting info on them or stocking up in some way before everybody comes back.
I would
Sarah
assume
in the chat mentioned could Robin be a monster in the forest, possibly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, isn't this thing like floral and fauna? Like, kind of,
that's right.
Huh. And he ate the seed previously.
He did.
True. Maybe he didn't fully recover.
He's always getting into some weird things, I feel like.
Yes.
I mean, but that also could be why Jeremy went back to Black Badge, because maybe they captured Robin and are keeping him somewhere. So this is the way of Jeremy keeping an eye on him.
You're getting so prediction-y.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I want to get there, but are there any final thoughts on the episode before we move into our faves?
I think Jeremy belongs at Black Badge, and I'm very excited to have Black Badge back in the storyline. I'm super into sci-fi, like government conspiracy things. So of course, he's already leading the team. He's brilliant. Of course he is. Like literally, of course.
He should be.
If he wasn't in charge of some like scary corporation by the time we came back, like what are we doing?
No.
I love that choice. I'm very excited for the next episode.
I agree. I also assume, not to get prediction-y, but I also assume that he's obviously still on our side.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. I also want to point out, because it didn't fit anywhere else, Kate was last seen on the train, and that's all we know about her.
Yeah, I hope that's not just throwaway of like, oh yeah, she's not coming back. Might be.
Suck.
If that is the case, I have some things I will say when we confirm that is the case. But until then, let's hope it's not. Any final thoughts before we move on to faves?
Jeremy looked nice in his suit because he's normally a little more casual.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that. I mean, I think Varun looks good year round.
I mean, no, true.
This is true.
Yeah.
Clothing,
but it's always nice to, dress up.
Yes. All right, let's talk about our favorite and least favorite moments of the episode.
Well, you already know mine. It was literally everything in the glory hole. Yeah. My favorite. You know.
Yeah, I think my favorite part actually was the very beginning with Waverly coming out in her cute little like or whatever. And she's in this just like really pure, dreamy state of like just really like finally just able to let go and be in love with her lover. And then she sees Teresa and Teresa's like, like just that, like she allowed us to get caught in that moment of vulnerability. And it just felt very human and I really liked it.
When you say Teresa, you mean Rachel?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Why? What's wrong?
Who's Teresa?
I don't know.
Rachel Valdez. That was such an adorable and precious moment of like, I agree. She brought in that like, oh no, vulnerable. I'm like, oh, hi, everybody.
Oh, that's right. I don't live alone with my lady friend. I need to change and put something on.
Interesting. My favorite moment, I guess, takes us out of this innocence. Is it's props to Melanie. It is a shot where she's hogtied and Nedley is naked and everyone's around him and her feet are covering his junk.
Yeah, that was
favorite
a really
moment of the whole episode. And I also love the glory hole, the lighting, the owner, Portia, all of that. But that shot, just perfection.
It was really, especially with everyone's reaction of like their face and stuff too. Like, I just love that Doc was like, his eyes were so big. I was just like, good Lord. That was so good.
I really enjoyed Valdez meeting Doc and Daddy Blue Eyes. And I thought theirs was entertaining because it's always fun to have our other characters get to know everybody else because they've heard of them, but they haven't met them in person. Definitely also love the Glory Hole owner. And somebody, I don't know where it is in the chat anymore, but they said his name was Eamon.
Amen.
So sorry, thank you for who said that. That's further back in the chat and I can't find it right now. But I thought his kind of flirting with Doc was just really fun and entertaining to watch. They had really great chemistry it was like, oh, okay. And also the moment when Nicole's going to go do the traps and Waverly's trying her best to be involved and says, you know, can I come with you? And always. And it's like, oh. So it's like that really hard thing of how do you help your partner when they're going through something and you don't know. So it's just you trying your best to be there for them. And that was just really sweet.
Also for me, before we get into the dislikes, I definitely liked the interaction with Wynonna and Rachel at the very, very end, or close to the end of the episode when they're doing folding laundry.
Yes.
And I like that that whole conversation, that whole scene was really nice, like seeing Wynonna in the window and everything. I also really like that she called her Small Des, which you know already, that when Wynonna starts giving you nicknames, usually that means that she's already like taking you in like your family at this point. And like she will go to hell and back literally to keep you like around. So I thought that was really, really nice. And you can clearly tell that Rachel feels at home with everybody, you know, here, which is great because I was like really scared that it was going to be awkward. But I'm glad that it all worked out. So
I'm glad she's still involved too. I was worried she would only be at that other location. Then they'd be like, yeah, and that was cool. We knew that person.
I was also very worried about that, which because the like season ended with her name, last season ended with her name on the wall, and that was like a big thing. And I know it's a character from the comics. So then we met her and I was like, if this is all that buildup was for, I was gonna be real mad. But her jumping in and joining the team, like she's part of the family. She's the new little sister. I mean, you know, Wynonna, as anti-maternal she is, she's also very maternal. So like this girl is part of the family that's going to be protected. Any least favorite moments somebody wants to bring upon?
I miss Mercedes like bright red hair. I don't know if it was the lighting in the bar, but it looked like her hair was much darker.
It's funny you say that. I also didn't like her hair.
I didn't like her hair. I mean, not like that's me being like real nitpicky because the episode was great. It was hard for me to recognize her until she started talking, and I was just like, I'm so lost right now. Is this a different actress or am I crazy? Like,
I kind of wanted more of a show. I was like, wait, that's all she's doing is just prancing around and like doing the whip, which I mean was hot, but that's it. Can we get a little bit more of a routine or going and interacting with the audience members?
I think they just ran out of time.
Yeah, there wasn't really dancing, so it was very
confusing.
Weird.
Yeah, I felt like she got like the crappy end of the stick on that one because they made it this big entrance and I was like, oh, okay, and then it was just like, well, she's just standing around and there's just whip sound effects. That's it.
To be fair, for all we know, there is a longer version that should be released on YouTube.
Yes. Because it started out so good and kind of fizzled out.
But that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. All right, let's head into predictions before we announce the winner of our giveaway. Predictions. Okay. All right, we've predicted a lot throughout this. You know what's funny? So you guys know, I'm sure I've said it a billion times, I'm very impatient with mystery. I always want the answer right away. And I loved how much we got this episode. They were like, here is new Purgatory. And that was wonderful. And I think that now I'm going to have to sit and shut up until we get answers on Cleo, because my prediction is we're not going to get those answers for a while.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think there's a lot more there, and I'd want to know more on this character because at first it's really like, who are you and what are your motivations? And okay. I hope we kind of get a little more monster of the week too, because that's fun. But we'll see. Like the earlier beginning season, like there kind of was a revenant every episode, so maybe we'll get some new kind of monster every episode.
Okay.
Well, I like that we feel like we're back in Purgatory. This episode definitely feels like we're out of the Garden of Eden and we're back into the Wynonna Earp show in general that we know and love, that I feel like some of us were craving. So I think they might return Monsters of the Week just so we can have more of that stability that we're all craving in 2020.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a really good point, because it really did take a long, crazy detour towards like mythology and stuff. And now we're back to Monster of the Week, which is interesting, especially now that she doesn't have Peacemaker. So she kind of has to rely on her team more than she ever has before. And I think that this was a perfect episode to like show her that she can.
Well, I mean, she doesn't need Peacemaker anymore. We've got kombucha, guys. Like, come on now. She just put that into all of the guns. She'll be okay.
Also, are we going to get anything more with Waverly being half angel? Like, that's kind of a big plot point that it's like, is anything else going to come out of that?
I feel like we got a majority of it last season and this, like the beginning of this season. So I think that they're just like, I think we're kind of done with the whole What? I was trying to put Wynonna Earp into one word. The Earp line. I think we're mostly now, like what Amber said, I think we're just diving into Purgatory stuff, more Black Badge stuff, and kind of like seeing what their plan is for the whole town or whatever monsters that we've had to deal with. So I think that at least that's my prediction, that I feel like we're kind of done with, since the curse has been lifted. We're kind of done.
Well, not like big angel kind of arc, but more just, is she going to have any special abilities that are going to pop up or anything? Or will she notice things at Black Badge, or they notice something about her? Or is it just going to be like back to regular life?
Well, we still have to deal with the book that she took that Doc has.
Yeah.
And whatever that meant. And then we also, Eve is somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that she's also around. That's somewhere. Because when we first find out that she, like, Chrissy didn't like her because of killing Nedley, I was like, oh, okay, so Eve was still in Wynonna's body and she killed Nedley. That was where my brain went. I was like, oh, okay, so she's running around doing stupid stuff, and that's why Purgatory is the way that it is now. But clearly that's not what it was, because they were like, you were the last seen person. I was like, oh, so
he's not dead.
So he's not dead technically, but
I was so glad he wasn't dead. I was like, oh, this show could do that, but I don't think they will. Please don't let him be dead.
I feel like they would have explained, like, or someone would have tweeted something out like, okay, the reason we had to kill off Nedley was because the actor had to leave for some reason or whatever.
Yeah.
I got distracted. But yeah,
no, I gotta let this cat out. I don't know what's happening right now, but it's distracting. So I'm gonna go let him out 1 sec.
Okay. Yeah, but like, I definitely think that it's just one of those things where I definitely feel like you said, Kari, that Jeremy's just going to be kind of obviously on our side, but maybe we won't get to see that right away, if that makes sense. Like, he'll act like cold towards everyone at first when they capture Waverly.
Maintain his cover.
Wynonna, that when she, when they take the bag off and she's like, Jeremy, what the heck? And he's going to be completely cold to her and like, this is my life now, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually we'll see, whether it's that episode or another episode later, that he's like, can you just I was trying to act, okay? Were you proud of me? Like, I think I did really well. You think Doc would be impressed? What do you think? Like that kind of thing. Like, I feel like
I think your impression is spot on. No?
Thank you.
I'm like, yes, I definitely visualize that.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be a very Jeremy thing to do, but I think it would be interesting to watch us be like, wow, Jeremy's really pulling this, like, I'm part of Black Badge, I'm the bad guy now, deal with it kind of thing. So that, because I liked seeing Eve/Jeremy esque of like this like playful evil kind of version of him. So the fact that we got that reveal that Jeremy's in Black Badge, I'm like, ooh, will we keep that up? That'll be nice, like a nice change for Jeremy's character. I feel.
Yeah.
You said something that I really was excited about. Now that's what it is. I cannot wait for Jeremy to see the bar owner flirting with Doc.
Yes. He's going to that.
He's like, whoa, don't be messing with my man.
Yeah. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to hate that. He's going to hate it. He's going to hate it so hard.
Any final predictions? Because I'm pretty sure there's a contest winner that needs to be announced.
Yes.
My prediction is we have a winner.
Yeah, so the way to win, well, let me tell you the prize. The prize is a signed comic book with signatures from the cast. And the way that this person won was they commented on our last video using a special hashtag because they were there when we streamed live on Mondays at noon, every Monday at noon on this YouTube channel. Subscribe and hit the ring, the bell thing so that you know.
The notification bell.
Yeah, you heard me. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be suspenseful because I'm sure everyone's like, wait a second, what's happening? All right. The winner is, and I'm sorry for pronouncing your last name incorrectly because, well, it's hard. Lily Thyberg.
Yay! Woo! Congrats, Lily Thyberg.
I believe we are going to, Amber is getting in contact with Lily. Yep. So congratulations. Hopefully we'll have more giveaways here on this recap podcast. But also I should let you all know a little secret that there's a really good chance that next week there might be a guest or 2 or 3 or 4. Unlikely that there'll be 4, but you never know. You never know. Cats count as guests.
Cats and puppies.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you all so much for being here. Please, of course, like and subscribe to Amber's channel. Why don't we, Amber, tell everyone where they can keep up with you?
Yeah, definitely. I am just making sure I wasn't muted. I'm not.
That's something.
Hey guys, my name is Amber Plaster. You can keep in touch with me, keep the conversation going with me at Amber Plaster on all social media because I got a weird last name. Just so you know, I'm a nerd. I have another podcast called Gaming and Gabbing. I'll link it in the description in just a few moments. And we talk about all things tabletop and video game related. And most of my YouTube channel things are going to be related to video games, but I do love Wynonna Earp, and so we will put this in a playlist. And I share the name of a very strange conspiracy theorist, and I am not that person. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to let you know that I know that the earth is round and I'm not a flat earther, and don't confuse me for her.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Well, that's fun. Carrie?
He's really famous on YouTube. It's kind of
I saw someone linked you on Twitter and they're like, is this your video? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And over on my Instagram later today, I'm going to be talking to another voice actor. We're going to talk about anime voice acting. So go check that out on Instagram. That's going to be at 2:15 today. And you can watch it later. Just check out my Instagram. And I talked with voice actress Lauren Landa last week. So go check that out. I talk about anime on my channels as well as movies and all kinds of nerdy stuff as well.
Thank you. And you are also not a flat earther.
No. No.
It's going to be a new thing. We have to
I get around. There we
Nice.
go. Another pun for you, Alexis.
Alexis, tell us where we can find you and the puppy.
Oh, say hi, Rocky. Oh, he just wants to lick off makeup. You can find me all over social media at atorres890. That's ATORRE. Wait. Yep. Wait. Oh, yeah.
There.
Yep.
Yeah.
atorres890. ATORRES890. I also, since I'm very excited to announce that in the next month or so, I will also be opening a streaming channel.
Shh.
A streaming channel.
That's my puppy. She's cheering you on.
Thank you. A streaming channel where I'll be doing mostly video games. It'll be called Squee Queen, and it'll just be me squeeing at things. So definitely look out for the Twitter and the Twitch stream, the YouTube, all that kind of stuff. We're working on it. I just bought a gaming desktop, so I'm going all out for this bad boy. I know Amber's very excited. So
My baby.
yeah, so I know. Are you proud of me? Yeah. So I'll definitely be doing some Sim stuff, Animal Crossing stuff. A few things that here and there, maybe some reactions to stuff, because apparently a lot of people like my reactions to things. I didn't know that, but definitely follow me on my Twitter now. But you'll see more stuff in the next coming weeks, since I'm putting this PC together bit by bit. So
Yay!
Enjoy that PC build, girl.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
We did have some feedback from Lily. She said, "Thank you guys so much. I am so happy right now. I'm shaking. I'm so glad it's going to a super fan." Lily, thank you so much for watching and commenting every week. It's been like, there's so many of you that are every episoders that I don't even know how to begin to tell you how grateful I am. And special thank you to B Daily, who provided this amazing prize that she's giving up to another Earper so that we can have this beautiful contest of the signed. So
Yes, thank you to all the Earpers who are always so generous and supportive and wonderful. We love being part of this community. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Where can you catch me? I took a long break for surgery, so I'm back at things. But I have my Twitch where I try to learn how to play video games. Unlike the other people in this group, I am not good at it. So you can check that out, twitch.tv/Yael Tygiel. I also have a show called Streaming Wars on that hashtag show on Saturday. I think that's all I'm allowed to promote at this time. You can find all that info at on my Twitter and my Instagram. And if you're confused about surgery, it's on my Instagram. Thank you all so much. We will see you next Monday at noonish here to discuss Wynonna Earp. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.